Yo, let's get into it. The movie opens up with the baseball team, the Groundhogs, warming up before a game. The only members that really matter are Hannah, the girl whose mom thinks she's the cheerleader for the team, DB, the D1 dick riding hater, Frankie, Mr. Bop, Sup, Dop, Bop, Bop himself, and Eddie, basically the LeBron of the team. Off the bat, the movie lets us know that they're
Players 10, Groundhogs 3.
well, to put it nice, complete and utter ass. So after they take a fat L, they go to the concession stand so Eddie can make his world famous 80 dogs. And them shits look disgusting. Looks like something SpongeBob would serve to the health inspector.
I call it the Nasty Patty.
Right after that, the weirdest exchange of insults I've ever heard takes place.
Just in case you didn't know, this is what a baseball looks like.
But no baseball, I served it to you for dinner.
What the fuck are either of these two boys talking about? We then make it to Eddie's house, where his dad tries to talk to him about taking baseball more seriously and he should really be thinking about future and his college opportunities and blah blah blah. He really isn't paying attention at all. Instead, he's staring into this cooking show like it's his firstborn child. And apparently short attention spans run in the family, because instead of focusing on cutting potatoes, the mom cuts her finger and is rushed to the hospital while Eddie and his friends stay home. Before she left, the mom told Eddie to put the food away, but instead he decided to give cooking a try and ask his friends to help to make dinner. And even though I wasn't really feeling the 80 dogs, how bad could they really do? It's what, chicken and mashed potatoes, right? I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at right now. Like, bruh, look at this Fruit Loop fried chicken that they're working with. What part of that sounds edible, let alone appetizing? But at least everyone seems to like it. So I assume his family thanks him and knows his talent in cooking, and fully supports him while he pursues this pathway in life.
Hi, I'm Edwina. I'm the little French chef from 8th grade.
Or they could just call him gay and a pussy, that works too. We then move to Eddie and his friends at school where they have to pick an elective for the semester. DB wants to do woodshop, but Eddie's brothers recommend computer science because it's one of those easy A classes. But after walking past his kitchen, Eddie tricks his friends into signing up for home economics. On the first day, the teacher talks about the $1 Million Cook-Off, where you have to make your own original recipe, and if it's good enough, you have to do a live cooking exam where the winner gets a scholarship and a small cash prize. Eddie of course wants to enter, but in fear of being called gay and losing his friends and family, he grabs a pamphlet and works on his recipe at night in secret. So even as a kid, something was very apparent to me while watching this little cooking montage. This motherfucker has no idea what the hell he's doing. Like, bro's just throwing shit in a blender. Why does he think with absolutely zero cooking experience, he could enter and win this competition against people who's been cooking for years at this point? Something else that also confuses me is, if this is supposed to be like a low-key operation, why is he up at night making the most noise anybody would be making? Like, he's just banging pots and pans around and exploding blenders with whatever witch's brew he was making. And that's not even talking about the mess he made. Like, bro has his concoction all over the ceiling, the floors, the counters, the dog, and you telling me he cleaned all that up without being heard, by the way, by morning time. Yeah, okay, whatever. The next day in class, Eddie tries to talk to Bridget about their recipes for the competition. But before they can really talk about anything, the D1 Dick Rider DB comes and interrupts the conversation to make sure Eddie isn't making any new friends or following any new passions. To cover up what they were talking about and risk DB find out he loves cooking in his class, Eddie starts a food fight. While cleaning up after the fight, they find a random bowl of purple goo with what I think is tomatoes and lettuce. The next logical thing to do is stick your fingers in and taste it. It turns out to taste pretty good and tastes similar to barbecue sauce. Eddie then remakes the sauce later at home to enter it into the cook-off. But like I said before, he has no idea what the hell he's doing. So he doesn't have any of the ingredient or the amount of each ingredient written down to send to the judges. But hey, if a random guy and girl that's never been in the same room before can be forced into doing karaoke, perfectly harmonized with perfect tone, I guess him being chosen to be in the cook-off isn't too hard to believe. And since they announced it on the intercom, everyone else at school knows too. What I think is funny is that he's not shown to be some popular guy. So a good 95% of people are just looking at this random guy likes to cook and going, ha ha ha, gay.
Hey Eddie, wanna try out?
For some reason, this good news that one of his best friends got a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity upsets D1 hater DB so much, he walks out of class like the sad Spider-Man meme. This is when Eddie finally steps out the closet and admits that he loves cooking to his friends. Unfortunately for him, his dad isn't so accepting of the good news either. He gets upset that Eddie didn't tell him about the cook-off, and For the life of me, I just don't understand why he wouldn't. I mean,
And stop playing with your food. You're dancing around like a little girl.
it's like such a cool and understanding guy. I don't understand why he wouldn't tell him. Yeah. All the cook-off training is starting to heavily affect him in baseball, to the point of him showing up after missing 3 innings and not being able to play for the rest of the game, leading them to lose. We learned from Frankie and DB that the cook-off and the big game against the Eagles are the same day, and Eddie is going to have to choose which he wants to do more. He ultimately chooses to go back to baseball because of how much his life sucks. They win their next game and they're set to go face the Eagles. The home economics teachers comes to Eddie's house and try to convince him to participate. Although he wasn't completely convinced to cook in the cook-off, cooking was still taking up space in his mind. So this is the 4th one of these little cooking montages, but this time Eddie's dad does hear something and he comes downstairs. You get to see just how much Eddie loves cooking and how much the cook-off means to him. The next day is the big game. While Eddie is there physically, it's obvious by the mistakes he's making during the game, his mind is at the cook-off. And while watching it in the dugout, Frankie chews out DB for being a bad friend, for making him choose between cooking and having friends. And Hannah gets him to realize Eddie loves cooking just as much as DB loves baseball. DB finally decides to be an actual friend and tells Eddie they can win the game without him and he can go to the cook-off. And apparently letting Eddie go and seeing him on TV gave them a little Zenkai boost, because even though they're losing, they're putting up a pretty good fight. Eddie on the other hand is folding hard, until his dad is moved by Hannah's mom accepting that she loves playing baseball and crashes out mid-game to get kicked out so he can go and support his son. He decides to make this dish called chicken mole, which is just chicken and chocolate sauce, and he was supposed to have lemon in his dish, but his chicken custard didn't set, so instead he had to improvise with lemon peel shavings. We cut back to the game where it's DB's time at bat and he has to hit a home run to win the game. He almost chokes by not paying attention and getting 2 strikes. Although he does hit the last pitch, it's the most disappointing hit I've ever seen. It would have went further if he bunted that shit, honestly. But apparently the other team is just his ass, cause this is enough to do the job and he gets a home run winning the game. While Eddie is not so lucky and deservingly so doesn't win the cook-off. They then do this back and forth between extreme happiness and extreme sadness. Kinda fucked up. Fuck, dude. Fuck, man. I tried so hard, man. Woo! Groundhogs #1. We did it. Woo! 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 Fuck, man. Come on. All those long hours of training, man. Fuck. Woo! We're #1. We're #1. Loser. 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 Loser.
Well, Bridget creamed him with her lemon meringue angel food pie.
You what?
Although he didn't win, him and his dad were able to see eye to eye and understand that Eddie has a gift for cooking and baseball, and with his dad letting him know that he'll always be there for him. This last scene really confuses me. I've been overthinking it for a while now. Like, this guy doesn't answer his question at all. So Frankie walks up to the famous chef and says Eddie should have won. The judge says, yeah, he should have won. And then when asked why he didn't win, he just says he's already a winner because he has people who support him. Yeah, I'm calling bullshit on that. That girl paid those judges off. If you made it this far in the video, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I got more on the way. Alright, peace.